Hey everybody, it's Mike Frieder here with On-Call Compliance Solutions. I'm back with another compliance tip of the week. Today we're talking about NIST SP 800-171 Control 3.1.7. Prevent non-privileged users from executing privileged functions and audit the execution of those functions. What is this control and why is it so important? So hey, if you're a defense contractor who's feeling overwhelmed, tired, and alone, trying to understand all of this DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC compliance stuff, I've got great news for you. You found your home here at On-Call Compliance Solutions, where we can help you transform into your company's on-call compliance hero. Let's jump into it. So NIST SP 800-171 3.1.7. Prevent non-privileged users from executing privileged functions and audit the execution of such functions. NIST SP 800-171 Control 3.1.7 focuses on preventing non-privileged users from executing privileged functions and auditing when privileged functions are executed. Here's a breakdown of what this control means and why it is so important. What does the control mean? So, preventing non-privileged users from executing privileged functions, i.e. non-privileged users, these are users who do not have administrative or elevated rights. They typically perform regular everyday tasks without access to critical systems or critical settings or configurations. Privileged functions, these include tasks or actions that have a significant impact on security or functioning of a system, such as installing or uninstalling software, changing system configurations, managing user accounts, accessing sensitive or restricted data. Now, prevention. This part of the control ensures that non-privileged users cannot perform privileged tasks. Non-privileged users should not have access to commands, tools, or functions that can alter critical systems or data. Access control mechanisms must be in place to enforce this operation. Separation, Mike, it's separation. I'll say the word correctly one day. Audit the execution of privileged functions. Auditing, this involves logging or recording all instances when privileged functions are executed, whether by administrators or other authorized personnel. These logs should capture who performed the privileged action, what action was taken, when the action occurred, and of course, where the action took place, i.e. on what system. So this is where our SIEM system comes in handy because that's exactly what a SIEM logging system does. Execution monitoring, regularly reviewing these audit logs helps ensure that privileged functions aren't only being performed by authorized users. It also aids in detecting any inappropriate or unauthorized use of elevated privileges, such as random people from China gaining administrator access at 3 o'clock in the morning. You should probably be able to detect that via monitoring. Now, why is it important? Minimize the risk of unauthorized change. Enforces least privilege by preventing non-privileged users from executing privileged functions. You ensure that only authorized personnel can make significant changes to systems or access sensitive data. This reduces the risk of accidental or malicious changes that could harm the system's security, stability, or availability. 2. Reducing insider threat. Non-privileged users could include employees, contractors, or others who should not have access to critical system functions. Restricting their ability to execute privileged tasks helps mitigate the risk of insider threats. Next, preventing accidental misuse. Even well-meaning users can accidentally perform dangerous actions if they have access to privileged functions. For example, an employee could unintentionally modify or delete important files, change configurations, or disable security settings. Restricting access to these functions helps prevent such mistakes. Strengthening security against cyber attacks. 1. Limit attacker capabilities. If an attacker gains access to a non-privileged account, they cannot use that account to escalate their access or perform privileged tasks, such as installing malware or creating new administrative accounts easily. This limits the scope of damage an attacker can cause, right? If they don't have access and they're just kind of in a glass case of emotion, they can't really hurt anybody. Detecting malicious activities. By auditing privileged actions, organizations can detect suspicious activity such as unauthorized privilege escalation or unusual system modifications. If an attacker manages to gain privileged access, their actions will be recorded and can trigger security alerts. The SIEM system comes again. Support incident response and forensics. Audit logs as evidence. In the event of a security incident, audit logs provide a record of what privileged actions were taken and by whom. This information is crucial for investigating the incident, identifying the root cause, and understanding the scope of the breach. Next, accountability. Auditing privileged actions holds administrators and others authorized users accountable for their actions. It ensures that privileged access is not abused and provides transparency in system operations. Next, helps with compliance. Many regulatory frameworks such as HIPAA, PCI DSS, ISO 27001, and of course NIST SP 800-171 require organizations to implement controls that restrict access to privileged functions and maintain logs of privileged actions. Implementing this control helps meet those regulatory requirements and avoid potential penalties for non-compliance. Now, how to implement Control 3.1.7. Access control policies. Define and enforce policies that specify which users have access to privileged functions. So again, we're talking about a written policy of access control. 2, ensure that non-privileged users are explicitly denied access to administrative functions, i.e. using role-based access control, or RBAC, to assign users to appropriate roles. Next, use of privileged access management, or PAM tools. Implemented PAM tools to manage, monitor, and secure the use of privileged accounts. These solutions can automatically prevent non-privileged users from performing privileged tasks and enforce strict access policies. Auditing and logging. Enable logging of all privileged action across systems and applications, ensuring that the logs include necessary details like user identification, time of action, and the nature of the action. Regularly review and analyze the audit logs to detect any unauthorized or suspicious activity. Again, our SIEM system is huge in the play of this control. Multi-factor authentication, of course, require MFA for users who are executing privileged functions to add an extra layer of protection, ensuring that only authorized individuals can perform these critical tasks. Review and monitor logs. Oh, my voice broke like a 13-year-old. Oh, sexy. Review and monitor logs. Implemented, I promise this is not my first time. Implement automated monitoring tools that trigger alerts if unusual unauthorized privileged activities are detected. Set up a process for regularly reviewing logs as part of security operations. Now, in conclusion, NIST SP 800-171 Control 3.1.7 is essential for enforcing the principle of least privilege, protecting systems from unauthorized or accidental changes, and ensuring that privilege actions are properly audited. This control strengthens an organization's security by ensuring that only authorized personnel can execute critical tasks, while creating accountability and traceability through logging and monitoring. And if all of this makes your head spin, like it did mine the first time through, let me tell you, at OnCall, we take defense contractors just like you who have had this DFARS, NIST, CMMC, ITAR, and EAR information security compliance stuff dropped in their laps like a seagull on a sunny day. And we teach you how to level up and be a proper on-call compliance hero for your company, eliminating gaps, gray areas, and getting this solved, all while showing you how to leverage compliance as your secret weapon to land more defense work with higher profit margins. Now that's what becoming an on-call compliance hero can do for you. Looking for more help getting compliant? Our compliance experts are always on call for you. Visit cmmccompliancesecrets.com or check out the description below for links to get help right now. If you love the content we're putting out here for you, help us out with a big thumbs up on that like button, or even better, Hulk smash that subscribe button, because man, that's really what makes us happy around here. Smash that subscribe button if we're providing you with some awesome value. And it really helps us to make sure that you get the latest compliance content as soon as our compliance nerds are rolling it out. Until next compliance tip, my friends, stay safe, stay secure, and hit us in the comments below to let us know what you'd like to know more about when it comes to information security and compliance. I'll see you on the next one.